This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, so Greasefang's good. Of course, bringing back vehicles can be nuts. I think we've also got Ghost Shintai and Sokenzen Smelter and Okiba Reckoner Raid and Sunblade Samurai. Those are all the cards in here that I wouldn't feel terrible about first picking. I don't think we want to take the multicolored card that's not only a multicolored card, but also one that needs you to have like 3+ vehicles, and that doesn't happen a ton in this format. So you usually end up with like 1 to 2. That's plenty for this to be good, but, you want it to be better. It's hard. It's a hard pick here. I'm honestly leaning toward the Reckoner Raid as good as it's ended up being. The Goshintai is quite good, though, and I think maybe in the end, I think it's good. I think it's a little better than the Reckoner Raid, and it does its thing all on its own. You don't have to build around it for it to be good. Yeah, so... couple of interesting picks here. We've got a Sky Turtle, which is really strong, and it's really nice that you can end up in a whole lot of decks where this just works out for you. It doesn't even have to be green-blue. Patchwork Automaton is really good, though. And good in a wider variety of decks. Like, if we don't end up in green at all, Patchwork Automaton, probably good. If we do end up in green, probably pretty good. So it's between those two in this particular pack. Network Disruptor's pretty good, too. I think it's probably the Turtle. Even though there's a chance we don't get to, play it that effectively. Okay, well, I think we're going to grab another signpost here. Oni Cult Anvil's strong enough that I think we just snatch it up here and see if it works. We could take Kami's Flare, which is a nice removal spell, but it has... Removal in this format in general is a little worse than it usually is, because there's so many creatures that do stuff, and they give you a huge chunk of their value before you ever get to kill them, like Sagas and like Geothermal Kami, for example. I think we just grab the Anvil and see what's going on here. We can go in a lot of different directions here. Okay, well, here I do think we take a Kami's Flare. I like it more than Dokuchi Silencer. This card's nice, but it's harder to set up to do its thing. It's not like it does it all the time. If you draft one, it probably kills a thing once in your draft, Kami's Flare here I do think we take. I like it more than Lethal Exploit. The Modern Age is pretty good, but I still think Kami's Flare is better. So we're just kind of, I think there's a few different ways one can do things. One of them is to just dive into one color and try to stay open in the sense that, you can figure out your lane later for your second color. But the problem with that is if your first lane doesn't work out, you're in trouble. I generally subscribe to, in the early going, just taking the best cards out of packs. And, yeah. Okay, so Tempered Solitude's pretty good. You do have to end up in a, sort of aggressive deck to take the most advantage of it. Tales of Master Sashiro's good, and so is Spinning Wheel Kick. I think in the end, the Wheel Kick is probably just best. It does some serious work. It is clunky sometimes, but this format ends up in so many board stalls where Spinning Wheel Kick is good that I think we just grab it here. We do want to grab, you're already playing Death Touchers in this deck anyway. There's good ones to pick up. It does feel, we still haven't really figured out where we want to be. Interesting. So we've got an Okiba Reckoner Raid and a Kami of Terrible Secrets here. And I realize we don't have we have one black card at this point. But we haven't really chosen what our second color is in the first place. We could easily be black-green and, splash Kami's Flare. I think we grab the Reckoner Raid here. I like the Kami a fair bit too, but I think Reckoner Raid is just the best card in this pack. It's just such a good one-drop. And that's pretty nice to have. All right, so the black cards are flowing. We definitely take a Kami this time. Yeah. I don't like Debt to the Kami very much. Could be black-red. Could be green-black. I mean, we could go in a lot of different directions at this point. That's what's nice about the Sky Turtle. Like, if we end up in any base green deck, we'll probably splash it, because at least we can always channel it for the first effect, and then the second effect is nice too. If we end up black-red, obviously we're not playing these things, but... Okay. Well, Imperial Oath is nice. But, given where we've gone, I don't think I want to take it here. I think the Song Shaper is pretty nice. I mean, Geothermal Kami is too in the right deck. We're taking one of these. We don't have any, like, Kami shenanigans yet, other than, like, bouncing this so I can channel it or whatever, but maybe we do just want the Kami. I kind of feel like it has more upside than the Song Shaper overall. Yeah, let's grab the Kami. So here's a Song Shaper, and I think we probably take it over the other... These cards... I mean, these two white cards are both fine, but the other cards in this pack aren't things I'm very happy to play, generally speaking. Okay, a bunch of solid black cards. One pretty good blue card, too, but I think we probably go with the black card, given what we have so far. And I like the Infiltrator the most out of those. I don't like Reckoner Shakedown. I guess it's Explosive Entry. It might make the cut. So far, we haven't really had something that really pushes us in any direction. Thank you for the follow. 5 Guys Rolling Dice. I mean, I'm not even convinced we're base green. We could easily shift into like a black-red artifact deck. Neither of these black cards are particularly good. I think I like the Shakedown a little more. We'll cut red, I guess. I would say black-red seems the most open. I mean, in that pack, really the only thing we took that was green is Geothermal Kami, and we only, in the first pack we only picked up 2 green cards, and they're good, but it does feel like maybe red-black is where we want to be. Okay, so pack 1, pick 1, I think we'd probably take the Restoration of Iganjo. It's very strong, draws you stuff, and lets you even reanimate stuff more often than you'd think, and then gives you a really good creature. I think we probably take Life of Toshiro Umezawa, though. It is almost as good, really, as Restoration of Iganjo, so we're not giving up a lot on power level. It's been very strong, as most of the uncommon sagas have been. This is a strong pack for whoever's playing white, though. These 3 cards are all white cards you first pick, like, pretty regularly, so someone's going to be happy, but we grab Life of Toshiro Umezawa here. Perfect. We're perfectly happy with that, so. Okay. Kind of leaning towards Circuit Mender here. I like Tales of Master Soshiro, but I'm less convinced we're ending up in that sort of deck right now, based on what things looked like in pack 1, but and the Mender will make our deck no matter what, and it's like a great value card too, so. Okay, Enthusiastic Mechanaut is interesting. Yeah, I mean, it has a very high power level, but I'm not sure it's where we want to go here. I could just take a Voltage Surge, which I don't think is as good as Enthusiastic Mechanaut, but given what we've done so far, Mechanaut doesn't seem like a super likely thing to make our deck. I mean, it's still early, obviously. The Mechanaut is the best card in this case, but by pack 2, you kind of have to start picking a lane. Yeah, we'll take the Surge. Ooh. Heiko Yamazaki's really good. We already have a lot of artifacts, and being able to cast them and then sack them to like the anvil is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what we take here. I do like the guide bot, but yeah, some fixing. But so right now, I mean, we're gonna keep green in mind, but right now this does seem to be the lane we're in, and it seems to be the right lane. Okay, so this is obviously a great thing, a great card. We could splash it, but I think we'd probably take Tempered in Solitude now. Yeah. It is a nice card advantage engine. We probably need to pick up some more creatures if we really want to get there on that, but yeah. Like Befriending the Moths, but I think Scrapyard Steelbreaker is fine for what we have going on. I guess we could still pretty easily end up in like red-green, honestly. Red is definitely our deepest color, evidently. Black, we have Life of Toshiro Umezawa, but if we went with green, we would probably be able to splash it. Although it's not like we have any fixing right now. So we're at 4 artifacts. We definitely like more than that. That's for sure. I don't think Crackling Emergence is better than it looks. I haven't been impressed with it basically at all, and the data has it as one of the worst cards in the format if you check out 17 lands, so the data supports my feeling. Okay. This is pretty spicy. We definitely need to get more creatures to really take advantage of it. The Renegade's not bad, the Ronin's not bad, but I definitely think we take the Singularity here and start jamming creatures into our deck. Like, it is a silly card. So, you know, maybe Crackling Emergence is better than it looks, but it's still pretty bad, I guess, is what I would say. Okay. Do I want another Steelbreaker or a Kunai? I mean, I need creatures more, especially because we have a Singularity now, so I think we take the Steelbreaker. I think normally one would take the Kunai over it, but yeah. Ooh. Some fixing. Don't really have anything that makes me excited about that. I think we'd probably just take Ironhoof Boar. Nice trick that also is a big beater late. I'm still, like, black's still not, like, crazy open. We have two really good black sagas, which makes me want to stay there a bit. Plus the Anvil, obviously, but we're up to 6 artifacts now and 8 creatures. So artifact creatures, especially, we did just pick up 2 in a row. It's going to feel pretty good. This is an interesting one. Like, playing, it's a hard one to judge. I haven't played against it or with it yet. You know, it is a mythic. And it's like a funny card because it's definitely awful, like, in your opening hand. But, you know, it's definitely a very real win condition. You know, you can build a game plan around it to some extent. I like Return to Action more than Crackling Emergence here. Yeah, okay. So, reasonable blue cards, reasonable white card. I guess I'll take this. Why not? Alright, pretty happy to just grab an Ember Keeper here. We do have a Kami of Terrible Secrets, so we're looking for a mix. And right now we're doing okay on the mix of stuff. We'll take this. It's actually playable should we shift in that direction. Shattered States Era is one of the few sagas that's not very good. Okay. Awkward. So Invoke Despair is sweet, but our mana's not going to be able to support it. And there's other really good options in this pack. I don't think I actually take a second Heiko. Mostly because, I mean, well, first of all, the Legend rule. But I also need to pick up more artifacts to really be happy. I think we take Circuit Mender here. It's great. It's a nice artifact. Gives us nice value when we sacrifice it, etc. And yeah, I mean, Invoke Despair at this stage of the draft, pack 3, pick 1, taking it, I probably have like a 10 to 15% chance of actually playing it. because of what our mana looks like. And this I have a 100% chance of playing. And sure, it's not as good, but it's not that far off. Man, all the Heiko Yamazakis, huh? I think I probably do take this one. There's another Sky Turtle, which is cool, but... I mean, we could take Lethal Exploit over it, but I think I grab another Heiko here. Kami of Industry is getting interesting with 2 Circuit Menders and an Oni Cult Anvil around. Okay, so we have Kami's Flare versus Prowler. I like the Prowler a lot. I guess we don't have a ton of removal. Like, we have 1 Kami's Flare and Explosive Entry and sort of... Yeah, maybe... Do I need to take the Flare? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to take the Prowler. It's a great 2-drop. And it's an artifact, and it's a creature. And those are both things we want to check off right now for our artifact payoffs and our Explosive Singularity. So, the more of those we can get, the better. I really, you know, if we go 1 and 3 with this thing, that's fine as long as we get to kill our one opponent with Explosive Singularity, right? That's the dream. Yeah, we're there. We've got 8 artifacts, 4 enchantments. I mean, I'd like another couple enchantments for this to be at its best, but right now it's giving us enough value that I'm okay with it overall. So, return to action. What are some of the silly things we can do with it? It does silly things with Circuit Mender, especially. Ooh. Yes, please. So, there's a 3rd Circuit Mender. There's also a Behold the Unspeakable. Both of those are really good. God, do I take a 3rd Circuit Mender over the Smelter? Man. All right, I've got 2 Circuit Menders. I know I love value. I do think we have to take the Smelter here. I would love to get a Circuit Mender, but a 3rd one. But I think Smelter gives us a great payoff. Another good payoff for doing artifact things. Okay, so we've got Gravelighter and the Long Reach of Night. I haven't been super impressed with this card. I mean, it's good. It's not as good as the other uncommon sagas, but it's pretty good. I think I like Gravelighter a little more, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a good combo with our Oni Cult Anvil if we sack an artifact creature, which is fun. So, the Blesser is interesting. I have enough 2s. I'd probably take Blade Blesser here over another Ember Keeper. The Ember Keeper is an enchantment, I guess. But I think we'd probably take Blade Blesser here. Yeah, Oni Cult Anvil and Smelter is also pretty sweet. Another Kami of Terrible Secrets. I don't think our mix is so good that I want to do that. I'd probably grab Kami's Flare here. We don't have any of the silly Containment Construct combos, unfortunately. Probably don't end up playing Explosive Entry. Yeah, got a lot of creatures and a good number of artifacts. Those both seem like things we wanted to do. Do we have any auras? No. So, do I just want another Inkrise Infiltrator, as underwhelming as that is? It's underwhelming because we don't have any ninjutsu, really, but I think it's our best bet there. I'm really happy to get another Ironhoof Boar here. I wouldn't mind a Colossus, but another Boar seems really good. It's just such a good trick. Like, you know, yeah. So Kami of Industry has some combos. Whether or not we go that route, I don't know, but... See you later, Fuzz. So Convoke would work as a keyword, but they don't do that, you know, it's not an evergreen keyword, so they're not just going to, like, jam it onto a card in a different set than a Ravnica set. Centipede's an artifact and a creature, so that's nice. It's not an exciting one, but it's fine. I do actually kind of like this Unstoppable Ogre. Another artifact creature. Which is definitely... We wanted to get there on artifact creatures in particular, and so I think we did a pretty good job. All right. It's a little bit awkward because we have so many 2-drops, but we also have the Singularity, and I think going below 17 lands when you have Singularity is probably not what we want to do. So, yeah. This has a lot of things it can get back. The sweetest is Circuit Mender, but like Unstoppable Ogre does a thing. Maybe the rest isn't that exciting. Prowler does a thing. But yeah, I mean, the Infiltrators aren't great in this deck at all. That might just be an easier place to cut. It's not an enchantment. It's not an artifact. It is a creature, but we have plenty. We have 20 in the end, so I think the Infiltrators are pretty underwhelming in this deck. Overall. Yeah, I mean, they just don't do what you want them to do, really. Blade Blesser's gonna have Death Touch a lot and Menace sometimes. So, Kami of Terrible Secrets. 4 enchantments and 11 artifacts. Feels like that's enough. I guess Ember Keeper's also not great. I guess I could see cutting Ember Keeper and Kami of Industry. I mean, the Blade Blesser's not great either, frankly. All right. So, Blade Blesser's not great. I mean, I was thinking about running it, but it doesn't do often enough in this deck. I think Tempered in Solitude is fine. Ember Keeper doesn't seem great. Maybe Tempered in Solitude's not either. I mean, it does reduce our number of 2-drops, but we still have plenty if we cut them. I mean, I do think the Tempered in Solitude is hard. I don't know that I want to cut that. I think Kami of Industry is out. One more cut. Probably Return to Action, I guess. Yeah, Kami of Industry, I mean, it would be good in this deck. My main problem is I don't really have enough ways to really abuse it. Obviously, Circuit Mender and anything with Oni Cult Anvil. But I'm not that into it overall. So we've got 15 creatures. More might be better for a Singularity, but I think I can live with this. We've got 15 creatures, that is. And then we also have the two of those. So we have 17, sort of. Yeah. Yeah, so, well, hold on a second. We only have 3 enchantments now. Yeah, I think with only 3 enchantments, Kami of Terrible Secrets is a cut. And I think we maybe do bring back in Kami of Industry. Yeah, I think it does enough. It's going to be more synergistic than our other options. And we just don't have enough enchantments for... Like, the Kami, if we play it, it's going to trigger, like, 10% of the time, probably. And that's not quite enough. I think you probably need 1 in 3 for it to trigger to want to play it, so... Alright. This looks pretty good. This is going to be funny. Let's do it. Let me check my lands there, actually. Do I want them distributed the way they want me to distribute them? Yeah, I guess so. This deck doesn't feel nearly as busted as our first deck of the day, but it looks like it's going to be fun. Yeah. You know, I haven't played... oh, yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. I've played the most, it seems like red-white. And black-white. That seems to be the case. So, kind of interesting. Ooh, Value Town. Okay, yeah, it's a good hand. We got removal. We're going first. We get to play, like, Song Shaper, Circuit Mender. You know, assuming we draw land. A third Circuit Mender was tempting, but I do think getting the other sacrifice card was probably better. Okay, so we do need a third land pretty badly now. We are doing some graveyard shenanigans in this deck, that's for sure. I'm glad we drew a third land. So, yeah, let's play Circuit Mender here. Attack. They can block if they want to. They can leave their friends behind, it's whatever. Okay. Let's get in there with that Circuit Mender. Then play another Circuit Mender. Let's get him down to 10. And then draw a bunch of cards. You know, the one sort of non-bow, well, yeah. Tempered in Solitude plus Explosive Singularity is pretty awkward. That's also pretty awkward. I guess I can punch through with Ironhoof 4, though. So, I probably attack here and then use the boar if they block. And if they don't block, I just play Heiko, I guess. I could sack one of them to kill the Mentor, which isn't the worst thing ever. But, yeah. Okay. So, board time. Hello, not James. It's going pretty well. We 7-1 with our first deck of the day. This deck has like a sweet sacrifice graveyard artifact deck. That's annoying. I probably Voltage Surge it. Yeah. Oh, hello. Okay. So Heiko can get us back Circuit Mender, among other things. Uh-oh. That is not what we want. You know, we won. Our last draft had Ow in it, so you know, legendary dragons. Yeah, so we'll end our turn. Steelbreaker has a pretty nice attack. It's also a warrior, so it triggers Heiko, so that's cool. We have him at 13 instead of 10, unfortunately. What if they pass here? That sucks, because it turns off its abilities, too. And it taps it, so we can't use it with our Singularity. However, they did leave us an opening here to attack pretty effectively. I like that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're close. I mean, I think we attack here. We don't have a modified creature, unfortunately. So yeah, I think we just attack with both of these. See what happens. They chump, they go to 11. They make their Kairi a 7/7. We can cast Singularity. Ooh, we're definitely killing that before they're in step. I guess I can let them attack first, at least. Yeah. Yeah, so then let's Kami's Flare. Well, I think we're gonna do it. Barring a counterspell here. Oh, we can't actually quite do it, can we? Not with them at 11. Okay. Means we have to take another hit from Kairi. 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we're going to play Tempered in Solitude here. I think we just rumble with the Steelbreaker. It gets them down where we need their life to be, so... Okay. Interesting. Alright, can they kill us? Or counter our explosive singularity? Those are the questions. We are at 11, so killing us isn't out of the question. It's not as likely in like a blue-white deck, but it could happen. Alright, network terminal. Doesn't worry me too much. I think they attack us here. Dang. I think maybe they know they're dead no matter what, so they're just like, I guess I'll attack here. I don't know. I don't know. Ooh. So they're going to bounce. So they just used this. They're going to tutor something up, and they're going to bounce our stuff. That's pretty mean. What vehicle do you think they have? The 7-7? Probably. That is the worst possible thing they could play. Alright, our whole game plan just changed, unless we draw removal. Oh, yeah, the discount was included. You were correct, sir. Probably shouldn't have played that land. So, does this Kieran end up killing us? Do we have to use our Singularity on the Kieran and then attack them? Except that's really hard to do. Uh-oh. Can they crew that and kill us? Not quite. But it gets very close. I have to double block. Yeah, I think we lose. So sad. Our Singularity just didn't get us there. This is why it can be kind of a problematic card, obviously. We're drawing all these cards that would be good, like in some situations, but just not in this situation. Ugh. So we're dead. You know what? I forgot this doesn't give the... effect to... I always forget that. It doesn't give the effect unless it's equipped. Could I have killed them on the backswing? Yeah, I guess Centipede. I would have held on for... Yeah, you're right. That was not the right move. And now I think we're dead. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, yeah, we're dead. Sad. I got tunnel visioned on our explosive singularity. Alright, let's see what they do here. They could kill us two different ways. That was pretty wacky to see them use Anchor to Reality the way they did, but it definitely won them the game. I did play poorly there. I sort of panicked about the Kieran, even though the Kieran doesn't do its thing unless it's equipped. And I could have blocked better, for sure. Our first draft of the day, I didn't really make any notable misplays, but we're starting the second draft of the day with it. So Explosive Singularity did not feel great there. I mean, our opponent disrupted us a lot, and that's what really kept us from being able to do it, but it did not feel very good in that game. Having it in our hand like the whole game and like teasing us was rough. Well, that's a bad hand. This is a much, much better hand. Honestly, I think we can throw away a mountain. We have all of our, like, 2-drops. What we really want them to do is play a 1-1 on turn 2. On turn 1, I guess. Even better. Yeah. But we can play our Tawashi Song Shaper in the meantime. Alright. Yeah, we're going to throw a mountain away. This hand, I mean, Tempered in Solitude can help us out of the situation if we don't draw a third land. I can live with it. Oh, nope, they did not play an X1. Okay. Let's play Song Shaper here. It might be about to die to a Voltage Surge. In fact, I would guarantee that's what's about to happen. Maybe not. Maybe they're like, eh. Okay. Ward. Ward is not our friend. I almost think we play Tempered in Solitude here and try to hit a land. Like, we really need to start hitting our land drops. But I guess we can probably afford to do this instead. Attack with Song Shaper. So the bad news is this was an X1 that we could have dealt with Life of Toshiro Umezawa if it weren't for Ward, but now it's probably about to be a 2-2. Yeah. We can still use Kami's Flare. Okay, now it's a 3-3. We can still use Kami's Flare, but we're gonna need some help to get there. Okay, we did get our third land, and I can kill one of these. I guess I want to kill Simian Sling more. Yeah. Because if I make the automaton any bigger, we're going to be in some trouble. So awkward thing is, I really don't want to kill Iron Apprentice, especially if I draw a land this turn, and this is still... Aw, man. Alright, I think we're starting this one out pretty badly. Now we can't do anything about that. I mean, I guess we kill this thing. But... yeah. Don't think we're getting there today, or with this deck, in this game at least. It's going to be funny if we finally get a 7-win deck today and a 0-win deck. It'll really even things out. Still basically 2 5 and 3s would have been better, you know? Which is what we've been doing. 10 and 6 versus 7 and 6. So. But, you know, getting a trophy feels good. Smash for 7. Ow. So, I guess we just play the Prowler here. Is there anything to be said? No, it doesn't actually do anything, so no. I probably double block the Automaton if it attacks us here. Feels like our opponent is going to do something to make that awful for us, but I think that's what we have to do. Yeah, there's lots of tricks here that blow us out. Okay, that does actually mean we get to kill the Automaton. Oh, no, it doesn't, because they can channel this. My god, this opponent is doing some of the most disgusting things I've seen in this format. And we're had a horrible start in the game, too. It's a bad combination. That was a ridiculous turn. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, we're dead. No. Guess not entirely. Just mostly. I have to chump the Automaton. I do think red-green is one of the weaker color pairs, but that doesn't mean none of them are unplayable. Our singularity is laughing at us. Maybe this is what happens when you play it. Yeah, that turn was like, we had like a horrible start, and then our opponent had that absolutely absurd turn, and it was like, okay. That's one of the best turns I've seen in this format, especially with 4 mana. So we're 0-2. Before today, we had 2 losing records in the format, and they were actually, yeah. And they were a 2-3, 2-2-3s, I think. Now we're at risk of going 0-3, and I think it sort of feels like our deck deserves to. I mean, I feel like it has some cool stuff it can do, but it just may not be good enough in this format. Let's try to avert the 0-3 at least, you know? Okay, not bad. Not great. You don't really want your singularity in your opening hand. But, you know, let's do this thing. I feel like this deck probably needed like 20 creatures if we're going to be serious about singularity. Centipede's a better attacker. It's more likely I feel good about attacking it and triggering Solitude next turn than it is with the Mender. Attacking with like an artifact in our graveyard, attacking alone would feel pretty good. Yeah, so we get an attack in here that gives us a card. That's definitely what we want to do. Alright, I'd probably just play the card we drew for free here. Just gained Menace, which is fun. Alright, we still have a good attack here, so we'll attack with our Steelbreaker. We have to give up our Centipede, of course, but I'm not going to be heartbroken if that's what they want me to do here. You know, I should have just attacked with the Centipede. Now that I think about it, that was not the right attack. Why? Why are all the mistakes happening now? I mean, at least we didn't make them in the first draft of the day. So it would have been better to attack that way. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a massive difference, but... So let's play Heiko here. So that next turn I could attack with the Steelbreaker alone again, and threaten to cast our Centipede. I guess I have to play an artifact for that attack to make sense, but... So I told you, like, if we go 1-3 and I only get to cast this once to win the game, I would be okay with it. So... that would be nice. Alright, so yeah, we take 3. So this is going to be a pretty nice turn value-wise, I would think. Yeah, so we attack alone with our Steelbreaker. I think that's our best play here. I guess if we hit a land, we'd rather play the one off the top. So let's attack with our Steelbreaker here. Try to, anyway. Because we're going to get a card off the top, and we can recast our Centipede from the graveyard. Pretty good. Ooh. Okay, we can play them both. Deck feels pretty fun in this game. I think we do play them both, even though we can't get the value out of our Prowler. I think we still do it. I mean, it's 2 free cards, more or less. So, yeah, play Prowler. Play Centipede. Okay, that's fine by me. This means our Singularity, like, we're going wide here thanks to Heiko, so it's definitely possible we go off with Singularity in this game and at least get that 1-3 where we win one game with Singularity, you know? This turn is probably just going to be best to... Oh, man. Well, we can play the Circuit Menders from our graveyard, so I think we just discard one of them. All right, I think we're going to get there this game. It's feeling good. Feeling good here. Ooh. Do we just play Iron? Yeah, we just play the board and swing out now. That is the plan. We might not get to win with Singularity, but winning is winning, you know? Oh, Singularity. I think we discard another Circuit Mender. Wacky as that is. Yes! We got the one win. We didn't get to do it with our Singularity, which continues to show that I think that card might be a liability. But we won. And that is what matters. We haven't gotten our Oni Anvil yet. So we averted the 0-3 at least. This will be a good draft to upload to YouTube for anyone wondering about the Singularity. I think it probably works a lot better if you have, like, more things that help you go wide, like a 3-mana 1/1 flyer that makes a 1/1 token, or like 20 creatures. And I mean, it's probably gonna, it could work out in this deck. It just, like, hasn't. All right, I do think this is a keep. Obviously, we need black mana to be happy about it, but we can play, like, if we draw any land, we can play this, and we can already play 2 cards. So you got to keep, I think, in that scenario. Now we got another Flare, which will help us get there. Alright, so I think we kill this before it gives them mana. I guess I can attack them first. I mean, there's basically no way they block. And then we'll go Kami's Flare. There are definitely games that stall out where Singularity would be good. Like, in our last game, that would have been the case if we, like, ever had the... Like, in the first game where we could have... Where it would have been good, we just didn't get the creatures, so... Yeah. So, let's attack them. Play our Smelter. And continue to have mana problems. Well, I do like that they didn't get to put a token on anything. I don't like that we're continuing not to draw mana, though. Oh. Two, three, four, five. So they could have up to 6 mana here. Wow. Can you imagine how much we would have actually punished them if we had mana? Oh, God. It's frustrating when such a thing happens. I mean, it was definitely a hand we should have kept, but... you know, you can't have results-oriented thinking in a situation like this where it takes significantly bad luck to not draw any third lands. I mean, if I was just... The only problem was not drawing black. You know, that's not as big of a problem, but... So... Okay. Aha! We get to Edict the Turtle. And I think that's exactly what we do. Thank God we drew black when we did. So, let's play Gravelighter here. Do I just sack the Gravelighter and keep the pressure on them? I think we do. So, we have them at low enough life that bleeding them out with, like, our Anvil and our Reckoner Raid is, like, pretty legit. I'm unfortunate that they gained some life there, though. Ironhoof Boar could even get us there out of nowhere. What a crazy hand. I could play Anvil here. Could play the Anvil here. Yeah, I don't think we do, though. I could play the Anvil here and sack the Anvil, get a 1/1. And that could be lethal if they don't have anything, but... I think it's probably safer not to give up a bunch of resources. Maybe? Yeah, let's just attack them. They just have so many cards in their hand and so much mana that I can't, like, count on things going my way here, you know? And if they don't do anything here and go to 2, our Reckoner Raid can just finish them off between the 2 turns. So, yeah, they've got something here to keep themselves from dying. Ooh, spicy. So... Okay. A 4/4, huh? I think we probably end up using our Boar here. Drops them to 3. Because it'll trample over for 1. And then we should be able to bleed them out the rest of the way. Yeah, Boar plus Raid is really good. Let's make sure our mana's tapping correctly. Please. Thank you. Oh. I didn't do that right. Use it on the wrong creature. Good news is we probably still win barring some sort of catastrophe here, but that was definitely a punt. Like I always say, punt is such a bad word for what, you know, a punt is a strategic move that helps you win. That wasn't a punt. It's more like a fumble. Okay. Luckily we're fine, but... And we got up to 2 wins, but we should have won that turn. All right. Maybe we'll just go on a run here. Finish 5-3. Punt does mean mistake in Magic, but what I'm saying is it doesn't make sense that we use the word to mean punt. To mean make a mistake. Because in football, punting is not a mistake. It's an intentional thing you do. Alright, pretty good hand. Yeah, that Lord Conda card is pretty bad against us overall. Aw, man. I'm leaning towards leading with Smelter just because maybe the Prowler can do something with Ninjutsu later. I've liked all of the really enchantment and artifact heavy color pairs a fair bit, and I haven't liked red-green or there's another one I'm not thinking of. It's not coming to me though. Oh, blue-white. Red-green and blue-white have both been kind of underwhelming. Which of these 2 drops? Yeah, we'll play the Smelter. We can get value out of the Prowler, like, and its ETB ability next turn, if nothing else, so. Uh-oh. Well. That's spicy. I mean, there's no way they block. And it's my creature wins in combat already anyway, so... It would be kind of funny to go for it here, make this... I guess that's what we do, right? I mean, this has already done its thing. So I kind of think it's what we do. Yeah. I understand that the term means different things in different sports, but in what sport does punt mean make a mistake? That's the question. And I'm pretty sure the answer is none of them. So, you know. So... Oh, in Magic it means that, but what I'm saying is the phrase is based on American football, so it should make sense in that context too, and it doesn't. That's where punt comes from. You don't use it for make a mistake in any other anything. So, strike means different things, but it's all based on, you know, reality. So, anyway, I think we swing out here. Threaten to Ironhoof bore them. Yeah. Yeah, we'll decline. This is going to be a tough race to, like, ever have a hope of winning, but we're going to try. So they're going to crew here. Yeah. 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 I mean, it's not great, but it's not a disaster either, so... Plus, we want to get him down to 10 to have a puncher's chance here. See, I used puncher's chance, which is a reference to boxing, but it actually makes sense. It refers to a boxer who has powerful strikes and doesn't need to land very many of them. Yeah, you do kind of... There's definitely something of a downside, but yeah. I think we play Kami of Industry here and get the Prowler back. And... yeah, that's a pretty good turn here. We have a bit of a chance here. So we'll give this... Lifelink and Death Touch, and then swing with both of these. Gets them down to 7. That goes back away. We're still miles away from ever being able to cast Singularity, so... But yeah, I mean, you do give the ball to your opponent, but it's also something that you're doing because it increases your chance of winning. But I guess that's the part of it that people are referencing. That part of the meaning. So... Steelbreaker can actually attack through that thing, potentially. So I think we probably play it... yeah. My point is just that when it's a mistake, it doesn't feel like an actual punt to me, you know? So the fact that they're not attacking is pretty sweet. I'm down for it. So let's play our Circuit Mender here. I guess... I think we swing out here. So things could go sideways here very easily. So I'm almost considering just getting in for the 6, dropping them to 2. I think that seems good, because then all our creatures next turn are potentially lethal. Yeah, I think we just let it die. So any one of these getting through is lethal next turn. They can unequip this. Man, I didn't think... Even if we end up losing this game, when they played that Blade on turn 2, it didn't feel like things were going to go well for us. But, you know. You know what happens if we draw our Singularity right now, though? We win. Which, you know, if they, like, somehow stabilize here and gain, like, 5 life, that would feel pretty good. Yeah, Farewell would be bad. That would be real bad. Let's hope not. Leech Gauntlet. So they can suit that thing up, and now it gains them so much life that I can't swing for lethal again. Interesting. So they go up to 8. And then I attack with all 3. They block the big one, and they take like 7. I think we want to do +1, +1. +2, +2, rather. Them gaining 5... I guess them gaining 5 doesn't save them. Yeah, good call. I was about to get there. Wow. So we lost our first 2 in a row, but then we won 3 in a row. We're not going to have a losing record. So, yay. Maybe we'll even have a winning record. Who knows? Who knows? Singularities. It's been funny, and I'm leaving it in. You know, if I was doing things seriously, like 100% seriously here, I think I'd cut the Singularity. But we gotta win with it, right? This is a horrible hand. I mean, yeah, we can't keep it. This is much better. Oh my. This is a spicy one. I think we get rid of the ogre. Something to be said for getting rid of a land, though. You know what? I think we get rid of a land. Would have liked it more if they played the Generous Visitor, you know, that 1 mana 1/1 that does a thing. Puts counters on stuff. Like that would have been preferable, but I guess I can live with this. Keeping Tempered, I mean, that's part of the reason we could keep a 2-land hand. If I draw a land, I'd probably just play our Ogre. I did not, though. So we're stuck on 2 again, but mostly in a better situation than we were in that last game. Yeah, I think we pass here. Alright, we get a nice attack. Hey, there's a 3rd land. And we can kill that thing. Interesting. Yeah, so we attack here. This is going to go pretty well here, I think. So we play this land, and then we play Life of Toshiro Umezawa. Anytime you kill something with one of these chapters, it's insane. Like, the amount of value that card gives you. I could have played the Circuit Mender, but I don't think that was the right call. As nice as Circuit Mender is, I think playing the life and killing their thing was better. It's a 4/4 now, but we can attack through it, so we don't really care. Because Menace. Seems like playing Steelbreaker here is better. Yeah. Freaking Blossom Prancer. So I think we play Unstoppable Ogre here. Yeah. Play the Ogre. Make it so this can't block. Doesn't really matter which we go with. Do I just attack with one thing? I think attacking with both is better here. It's less likely we can play whatever we draw, so they can't block this, and I can sack the Ogre to this to kill the other creature. So, yeah. Now, if I play, I can get the Ogre back at some point, which not amazing because we don't get the ETB trigger again. I mean, we do. It just doesn't matter in the second main phase. All right, you've got 2 4/4s. It's a little concerning. That helps a lot, though. Yeah, so we just Gravelighter here. God, what do we sacrifice? I guess with Blossom Prancer around, Gravelighter's not a great attacker, and then... yeah. Probably the Gravelighter. Didn't really expect them to sack their Reach creature. So we're going to attack alone with Road Captain here, see what happens there. Steelbreaker we can't play. Don't love that. But what are you going to do? Goodness. Okay. We still get to attack alone with our menace creature, though, which is quite good. Ooh. I like that. So Prowler... If I put the Death Touch here, I can attack all, and there's no way... Yeah, so... I think we want to attack all now. Best they can do is trade with the memory. Yeah. I guess blocking Steelbreaker is pretty good for them. Overall, but I think... it's not amazing. Yeah, Ninjutsu Prowler was probably better. You're probably right about that. We get their one creature out of the way. We still got a Kami's Flare. And we can get back a bunch of artifacts with Heiko, which is cool. I think they're about to get 2 things back from their graveyard, unfortunately. Yeah, that's bad news. This might be a Singularity game. Because they're going to stabilize. I wonder whether they're going to try to gain life with this. Rather than... They are. That is sad for me. I hope they don't play another creature, though, so the Road Captain can attack. Wheel? Double Kami's Flare. Yeah, I don't think that's what we want to do, but it's nice to have. Okay. I can flare the 3/3 with the trigger on the stack, and that's probably what we're going to do if it targets itself, and it does. They might save it with a trick here, I guess. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, so they do. They save it. Because now, I don't have a very easy time attacking through all this nonsense. But what I can do here is attack with Heiko, finish off whatever they block with Kami Flare, and then play a thing from our graveyard. Plus we get a card off the top. I think that's probably what we want to do. I mean, I guess I could just attack with Road Captain, but I don't get to play an artifact, so I think we attack with Heiko here. So... which one do we want to target? I mean, I guess the Prowler is pretty good. It'll make any creature who attacks them into... But then the Ogre can make something unable to block, and it trades with their dudes. Yeah. What comes off the top here? Ooh. We haven't really gotten to do much with our Anvil, so that's a nice draw. Prowler does do stuff next turn, but probably not enough. Yeah, so we go ahead and Kami's Flare this thing the rest of the way. I guess we'll let the damage happen first. And then we'll Kami's Flare this. Oh yeah, we have to play the Ogre now is the thing. Which, we definitely do. Wow! Man, our opponent likes protecting their creatures. Okay. So, we don't end up playing our Anvil here. Is that optimal? Probably not. I probably made another mistake there. Are you a warrior? Oh, you are. Is my deck going to bail us out a little bit here? Maybe. So let's play our other Heiko. Attack them with the Ogre. We can play this turn, so it's what we grab. Oh, no! Singularity! It might have actually been good in this game, but now it's gone. You know, I mentioned it was sort of a non-boat. We'll get rid of the Reach creature. Of course, if they can get it back from their graveyard, it's way worse for us. That's so sad. So sad. Okay. That's not a creature, so I'm not that concerned about it. Oh, hello. So we just slam the board and swing out now, right? Yeah. That's what's great about the boar, is it's a great trick early, and then when you draw it late, you can just slam it on the board and it immediately changes things in your favor. I think we got there again. We're gonna have a winning record. We got to 4-3, even though we started out 0-2. Let's see if we can keep it up. Ooh, pretty nice hand. Decent thing to bring back with our Kami. Definitely should have played my mountain there, but hey, we don't get punished, luckily. Yeah, we definitely play our Prowler here, even though we don't get any value out of its ETB, but we can potentially pump it next turn for Chishiro. It powers up our Voltage Surge. Yeah, so it's what we wanted to do there. Interesting. So playing life with Chishiro here doesn't make much of a difference. Wonder whether it's best to just pass and leave up Voltage Surge. Very well may be. Yeah, we'll pass. I don't think getting the clock started on that was worth it. Okay, well now we get to kill that with it. And that always feels good. Okay, do we get to Singularity finally? So I think we attack with the Prowler here, because next turn we can play Kami of Industry and bring it back. It does mean we're only going to gain 2 life off of this if they block, but I think I'm okay with that. We killed one thing, we gain 2 life, and then we get a 2/3. I mean, that's... what more can you ask for? I mean, killing 2 things is better. I hope they have a bunch of X1s in their hand. Yeah, that's less than ideal. Yeah. Really wish I had an artifact for Voltage Surge right about now. Would have been nice if they blocked, but that would have been a pretty bad mistake on their part if they did. So yeah, they're going to start churning out these 1/3s, which is a pretty big problem. I also have one of these, which is a pretty big problem. Ugh. We can't power up our Voltage Surge. We can attack here. They can't actually crew this. So I think we do attack here. Guess if they have a trick or something, they could crew it, but yeah. Oh, Explosive Singularity. You've been a big disappointment, at least in this deck. And it's not a small sample size. Like, we've gotten it in every game and been like, can't really do anything with that. Definitely needed a more build-around-y type situation. Okay. I could use the Surge now. To do 4 to the Go Shintai or the Bank Buster if it gets crewed, but it's not great. We are 1 mana shy of a Singularity, but unfortunately they're at 14, which, as it turns out, is not 10. So, we've got to find a way to chip in for some more damage here, and it's not looking great. So I can't tap him and use this, so that doesn't really help us, you know, if that actually comes up. It may not come up, so... Ugh. We can cast it, but... Oh, God. Why can't you damage players? I mean, we have to find a way to sneak in damage, but somehow we don't have any artifacts to sack to Steelbreaker, so we just have to pass. We basically just have to pass and hope we find our Anvil, I guess, and then use Anvil plus Singularity to bleed our opponent out. I mean, that's our best bet, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a great situation for doing that, since they're drawing like a million cards. So, not loving that. We will get to cast it in this game, probably, even if it doesn't kill them. Might be a game where we just have to sneak in some random damage. Like, they're like, I guess I can take that. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, you can't. You're dead. That's kind of what we have to hope for. Guardians of Oboro. Okay. That's actually kind of interesting. So, we play the Centipede. So we can reconfigure it, put it on the Kami, and the Kami's a pretty good attacker. It becomes a 5/6. I'm sure they just chump it, but then I can unreconfigure. And if they do just take it, like, you know, we win next turn. So... that is an interesting... situation. So, yeah, I think we reconfigure this, put it on our Kami of Industry, go to combat. I'm sure they just chump, but it's a situation where we just want to, like, chip in for a few damage if we can. And if we're just thinning out their board, that's okay, too. Then we can unreconfigure it. And end our turn. Yeah, this is a blue-white deck, but they're definitely not doing vehicle things. I mean, this is great in any deck. It's a vehicle, it's true, but it's not really what they're doing, you know. Looks like they're gonna rumble. Oh. Okay. Interesting. So, huh. I think we do this again. Stick it on Kami of Industry again. Attack them. Gotta get them down to 10. And the boars give us a chance. We really want them to just chump here. Let's hope they don't have some sort of interaction. They probably do, given the 4 cards in their hand and the colors they're in. Interesting. Maybe not. Oh my god, are we going to win with Singularity next turn? Are we going to live the dream? Time to find out. Just tap out, and then I'll feel really good. Whew, boy, they didn't tap out, you guys. But... I say we go for it. Oh, boy. Okay, so... we do have a little more reach with this, which is cool. Why is counter magic a thing? I don't think I can leave 3 open, unfortunately. I think I can only leave 2. However, let's Kami's Flare their shrine and see what they do. Of course, that won't prove they don't have the crab, because the crab can't stop that. The problem with waiting is I just don't see it happening. Like, what? Why would they tap out? You know? Like, why would they do that? We don't want to reconfigure. I mean, it gives us an additional... body. I mean, before Kami's Flare we do, yeah. But not for Explosive Singularity. Well, crap. I'm gonna just go for it. Let's just go for it. Ugh. Okay. Hold on. Here's what we're doing instead. We're going to go a little more conservative. Hopefully I don't regret this. See, Hail Mary makes sense. So, they probably crew their Brute Suit or something. So, drop them to 5. Yeah. Do I still attack? I'll still have enough creatures for the effect. It is a must block. Yeah, we'll attack here too. Okay. So I could Voltage Surge here to get a blowout. Now I can't. Without sacking an artifact. I could sack the Chain Flail Centipede. The buff would stay for the turn. And then I'd still have enough creatures for Singularity. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Also might get them to use their counter magic. Do they have counter magic? Ooh, that's not so good for us. Okay, 2, 4, 5, 6. Huh? Did we overthink things here? We can still cast this. We probably have to now, more or less. What if they kill us here? I mean, it's not impossible. We're just gonna take this. I'm gonna be so sad if they kill us here. No! We've lost our Singularity. Oh my god. We're gonna lose, and I don't think they had an answer for our Singularity. We really shouldn't have waited. We really overthought things. Crap. If only you could tap for mana and the effect. I don't think that's gonna work, though. Like, if we go like that... Yeah, then we can't cast our Singularity, and we can't cast it... That's so sad. We could have won. I mean, this could be a counterspell, I guess. They're also going to Mech Titan Core, which is funny. But, that is so sad. I really wanted to win the game with this card, and I thought myself out of it. I was already leaning in that direction, and then Chad agreed with me, and it's the wrong choice. I mean, there's a chance we survive here if they go really conservative, but I don't know why they would. They can Mech Titan Core here, so... Well, maybe they can't. But yeah, they're not going to go conservative. They're just swinging out to kill us. That's one of the most devastating losses I've experienced. Hang on a second. I didn't blame Chad. I told you I was already leaning in that direction. I would have done it anyway. I'm just saying you guys agreed. And that further cemented my confidence. 2, 4, 5, 9 tokens. Yeah, we're dead. It's what I deserve. It's so sad not to get to cast this, but that was like our whole goal. But, what are you gonna do? I mean, they had to have the right exact, like, they needed to have removal. Like, I think it was probably the right move. Passing without attacking wouldn't have helped us much, by the way, because we would have had to block. Like, none of the things we could block effectively. So, it wouldn't have accomplished anything to not attack at all. I think attacking and trying to lure out counter magic, and then they had to have two removal spells. And they did. You know, if they just had one less removal spell than they did, you know, we would have won. I mean, we still don't know. They could have had a counter spell in their hand. If you're watching this person who are just playing, let us know if you had a counter spell, because I have to know. But they did still have one card, so it was possible. But yeah, that was painful.